Today we'll discuss about what is data. You know, data may be facts, figures, numbers, name of a student, that is your data. And this data may be qualitative or quantitative. So data can be qualitative or quantitative. Then what is qualitative data? Qualitative data is descriptive information. It describes something. But quantitative data is numerical information. It may be numbers. You see the examples. Okay, what is quantitative data? Quantitative data can be discrete or continuous. Discrete data can only take certain values like whole numbers. These are whole numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. But continuous data can take any value within a range. So you see here some examples of qualitative data. He is brown and black. He is brown and that is the qualitative data. He has long hair. He has lots of energy. So these are the data of qualitative data. Next is quantitative data. It is of two types, that it may be discrete or it may be continuous. So for example, discrete data, he has 4 legs. He has 2 brothers. So these are the discrete data of quantitative types. Next is a continuous. He weighed 25.5 kg. He is 565 millimeter tall. So these are about the qualitative or quantitative data. Again, what is frequency? Frequency is the number of occurrence of a repeating event per unit of time. Suppose frequency means, suppose how many times, suppose you are taking tea. So how many times you are taking tea in a day, that is the frequency of the taking of tea. In statistics, the range is the spread of your data from the lowest to the highest value in the distributions. The range is calculated by subtracting the lowest value from the highest value. For example, suppose in a class test, suppose the students out of 40, the lowest mark is 5, but the highest mark is 40. So your range is the difference between the highest and lowest, that is 40 minus 5, that is 35. So range is 35. The range of a set of data is the difference between the highest and the lowest value. That's what I have told you. The highest value was 40 and the lowest value was 5. So that is the difference between 40 and 5. So to find the range, first order the data from the least to greatest, then subtract the smallest value from the largest value in the set. Suppose for example, suppose you are doing one calculation. Just I have told you maximum mark is 40 and minimum mark is equal to 5. So range is equal to 40 minus 5, that is 35. So 35 is the range. For example, in our school, the age of highest person is 55 and the lowest age is 25. Then the range equal to 55 minus 25. That is your 30. So range is 30. So this is about your range. And the other things for another example is suppose there are many numbers. Suppose there are 6 numbers. In this case, first you have to arrange in ascending order. This is 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you take the difference. That is 8 minus 1 is equal to 7. So the range is equal to 7. So this is about your range. Next, so this is about your frequency. Frequency is the number of occurrence of a repeating event per unit time. Then next you see the different data here. Here different data set 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. So 5 is 2 times. So in this case you see what is the lowest value. Lowest is 3 and highest is 6. So the range is 6 minus 3, that is 3. Similarly, here also the same 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Then you take the lowest and highest and the difference between highest and lowest. Then you will get the range of the data. So these are the different examples. Next, I am telling you about how to hide the different suppose you want to add out the different suppose this is about your coordinate plane. So before coordinate plane there is another things also I am telling you. Suppose you are writing the about the tally marks. Suppose the is our tally marks. Then what tally marks and its definition. Tally marks are defined in the unary numeral system. It is a form of numeral used for counting. The general way of writing tally marks is as a group or set of 5 lines. The first 4 lines are drawn vertically and each of the 5th line runs diagonally over the previous 4 vertical lines. That is from the top of the 1st line to the bottom of the 4th line. Just you see here. Suppose one you have to draw. One means that is only one vertical line. For two vertical lines. For three vertical lines. For four vertical lines. But for 5, diagonally 1 from this top to this bottom, then it will be 5. Similarly, this is 5, again 1, 6. Again for 7, 5 plus 2, 7. Then for 8, 5 plus 3, 8. Like this manner, you will give the tally marks for using. Just I am telling one examples here. Here, suppose 1. So this is 1. For 1, it is 1 vertical line. For 2, you give 2 vertical line. For 3, 3 vertical line. Then 4 vertical line. Then for 5, from top to bottom, this is 5. Similarly 6, you take 5, then again 1 similar. Similarly for 7, then 2 vertical line. Suppose for 10, this is 5 to 10. Similarly 11, 5, 10, 11. Like this manner, we are using the tally marks to represent the tally marks. So again, this is about your tally marks. Next is, this is what the tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I have already discussed. Next is your histogram. So histogram is a graphical representation that organizes a group of data points into user-specified ranges. Similar in appearance to a bar graph, the histogram condenses a data series into an easily interpreted visual by taking many data points and grouping them into logical ranges or pins. So suppose before that I am giving one example. Suppose a factory manufacture 300 machines on one day. 300 machines. Similarly, on Tuesday, 500 machines. And on Wednesday, suppose 250, and you want to represent these data graphically, then suppose on Monday it manufactures 300 cars. Suppose one car means that is 100. One car represents 100 cars. So Monday suppose there are 300 cars. So here you have to represent the data graphically. Three cars. Similarly, suppose on Wednesday 250. So how 500 means you have to do 5 cars. But suppose on Wednesday 250 cars. So this represents 100 cars. Then again, this represents 200. Then that you make like this color. So this represents your 100. This represents 100. And this represents 50 cars. So you are representing graphically the above data in your graphs. Suppose these things can be represented by bar graph. Suppose you want to draw the bar graph of this data. Then how you will draw the bar graph? So for drawing a bar graph, so two axes is necessary. One is your x-axis, other is your y-axis, and this is the origin. This is called the origin. This is the origin, means starting point. Suppose I am representing these values or this problem in bar graph. So on one day, there are, suppose you take here this graph, this is 100, this is 200, this is 300, this is 400, like this model you take. In scale it will be correct. Suppose 100, 200, 300 and 400. Suppose on one day 300. So you take this space, one space here, and you draw 300. Suppose this is 300. So this is for Monday. Next Tuesday, that is 500. Suppose here we have to represent 500. On Tuesday, that is 500. So here you take whatever the space here you have taken, you take this same space here. Suppose the diagram is like this. This is 500. Suppose this is, if you want to represent Wednesday, the same graph, and here 250. So this is about the different graphs. So here you write Monday, then Tuesday, next is your Wednesday, this is your Wednesday. Okay, so I have done here this is your graphical way in pictorial. This is pictorial graph. But here it is bar graph. So on Monday it is 300, so you take 300. And here you have to mention in x-axis what is this is your day. Here number of cars manufactured, number of cars manufactured. So in x-axis you are representing day, but in y-axis you are representing number of cars manufactured. So this is the difference between your pictorial graph and the bar graph. इसको लगता है केवल आप इंस्टाग्राम बताए थे हाँ ये वाला नहीं next is our topic is histogram. So a histogram is a graphical representation that organizes a group of data points into user-specified ranges. Similar in appearance to a bar graph, the histogram condenses a data series into an easily interpreted visual by taking many data points and grouping them into logical ranges or kings. Suppose, for example, I am taking suppose there is some data that 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. Suppose like this manner. Suppose in an organization you are taking on survey that suppose the different persons working from 0 to 10 years, suppose 0, then 10 to 20, 10 people are working, then 20 to 30, 15, then 30 to 40, 20, and 40 to 50, 15. Suppose you want to show these data in your histogram. So just like the previous graph, you take two axes. This is x-axis and y-axis. Suppose take each centimeter as 10. Okay. Suppose in x-axis, these are the here number of workers, and this is age group. This is suppose in y-axis you are taking the number of workers, Then here you are taking the age group. Age in x-axis you are taking age group. In y-axis you are taking number of workers. Suppose I have taken this interval, this 10, 10, 20, 10, 10 difference. 20, 50, and 50. Suppose you want to represent this in your graph 0 to 10, that is 0. So 0 to 10, suppose this is 10, 20, then this is 50. Okay, these are the age group. So in 0 to 10, this is 0. 0 to 10, no workers. Then 10 to 20, 10. So 10 to 20, so from this you make like this manner. 10 to 20. Then 20 to 30, 15. Suppose you take this as 15. Approximately I am taking 40. You have to take the graph paper, and in that graph paper you have to 20 to 30, 15. Then 30 to 40, 20. Suppose this is 20. This is 20. 30 to 40, 20. Then 40 to 50, 15. 40 to 50, 50. So this is the graph that you have drawn, the histogram here. Then here also you can do the frequency polygon. Frequency polygon. So for frequency polygon, you take the midpoint. Here take the midpoint, then here midpoint. Then midpoint, then so this is about your frequency polygon. So this is about how to draw the histogram and frequency variable. Okay. Next we'll start the how to do the coordinate planes. Coordinate plane. So in coordinate plane, you see here, this is the x-axis, this is your y-axis. So now you see here, where the x-axis and y-axis intersect, that point is known as origin. And the coordinate of the origin in x-axis is 0 and in y-axis is 0. So it is 0, 0. This is known as 0, 0. And each interval we have taken 1, 1. So in this axis you will get all positive cases, positive value. Here also all positive value, but here negatives. Here also negative. So when two axes, that is x-axis and y-axis, intersect each other, then they make four quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So you are getting 4 quadrants. And when you are taking any points here, then every point has a value in its x-axis as well as in y-axis. Suppose you are taking a point here in second quadrant, then you will get minus plus. First quadrant is plus plus and third quadrant is minus minus, just opposite of this. This is plus plus, this is minus minus, and this is minus plus, what you will get here plus minus. So these are the 4 quadrants, and these 4 quadrants value is different. If you take any point here, so it has its value, own value in both the axes, in x-axis as well as in y-axis. So this is about your different quadrants and x-axis and y-axis. The name of the x-axis is abscissa and the y-axis name is ordinate. This is ordinate, this is abscissa. So this is the origin. When you are going right side, you are getting positive value. When you are going left side, you are getting negative value. Similarly, when in the y-axis, while you are going up, then you are getting positive value. But when you are going down, then you are getting negative value. These are very, very important. These are very, very important. If you know these things, then automatically you will place anything here and you can write the coordinate of the plane. Therefore, this is known as coordinate plane. This is the coordinate plane. It has 4 quadrants, that is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So this is about your coordinate plane. Now we will discuss how to locate different points, location of points. The horizontal axis in the coordinate plane is called x-axis. The vertical axis is called the y-axis. The point at which the two axes intersect is called the origin. The origin at 0 on the x-axis and the 0 on the y-axis. The intersecting x and y-axis divide the coordinate plane into 4 sections. These 4 sections are called quadrants. What I have told you about quadrants. Then quadrants are named using the Roman numeral first, second, third and fourth quadrant. Beginning with the top right quadrant and moving counterclockwise. Then whatever the value we are getting, they are called ordered pairs. An ordered pair tells you the location of a point by relating the point's location along the x-axis. The first value of the ordered pair and the along the y-axis the second value. Whatever you have taken the value, then that is the two values. Suppose whatever I have told you, suppose this is your coordinate plane. So what point is you are getting, that is plus plus. Then here minus plus. Here minus minus. Here plus. These are the coordinate plane. Coordinate plane. Okay, and here suppose I am taking the points like this measure. What I have discussed earlier, I am representing again and making it clear about the points. Here you are getting plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 0. Here it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, here you are getting minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Suppose you are taking a point here, and you want to know the coordinate plane of this point. So, finding the coordinate planes, you draw a perpendicular to this axis and perpendicular to this axis. Okay, suppose you want to know what is the coordinate of, suppose this is 6, approximately take this as 6, then here it is 3. So the coordinate plane of this point A is 6, 3. Suppose for other cases, you are taking another point here. Suppose you are taking a point here, B. So you draw a perpendicular on y-axis and perpendicular on x. First you write the value of x-axis, that is minus, and value of y-axis, so the point is minus 3. So in this case, in this way, you can represent anything on the coordinate plane. And this is your x-axis, so it is x base, and here it is y base, and this is your origin coordinate is 0, 0. Origin coordinate is 0, 0. So this is all about your coordinate planes. You can locate any points on the coordinate plane. So this is all about how to represent the values or the points on the coordinate plane. Okay, Jai Hind, Jai Jagannath.